Wake up, people. Do you know anybody who got sick prematurely, like in a young age, 20, 30, 40, with cardiovascular disease? Or somebody who died from cancer in the 40s or 50s? Somebody who came out of the house in their early 20s and just collapsed, and doctors did not know what happened with that person? If you do, then listen carefully to this, because I was preparing for a presentation that I was doing yesterday, and I came across very interesting information. Apparently, and I mean, it wasn't not news for me, but I wanted to see confirmation to it. So the disease becoming younger. If before obesity was known to people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, now it's with kids. If the cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol, blood pressure, were for people kind of known for people who are 50, 60, and 70, now it's in 20s and 30s. The diabetes starts with kids, the anxiety, the sleep problems, all of those things are starting with very young ages, and that's why we all of a sudden see young people getting sick, falling off on the streets, and dying, taking medications that they should not be taking because they're still young and their bodies still have to be functioning properly, but that's not happening. And an interesting fact, it happens in more developed countries than less developed countries. And the reason is very simple. We live in abundance. Right now, food is everywhere. You can get anything you want from any part of the world at the snap of your fingers, and you eat from wake up to going to bed. You have 100 snacks, you drink something but water, all that drinks that promoted to us as healthy, as good, as energy, and look at the label. Do you really want to enjoy that for a moment and then die prematurely? Do you want to have your kids born with allergies, with liver problems, with skin problems, with indigestion problems, when they just arrived in this world? And this is not their fault, it's your fault. If you have kids who were born with defects, it's your fault, the fault of parents, because the parents did something before the child was conceived, during the pregnancy, that caused the child to develop those illnesses. And I am talking to you today about waking up and taking responsibility for what you do today and for what you will be doing going forward, to make sure that our nation and all the developed nations that do not disappear because of lack of energy, constant anxiety attacks or panic attacks. I mean, when I was growing up, I did not even know what panic attack is. Now kids in school, they have it all the time. Younger adults, come on, every second one of them are on some kind of antidepressants or have to see a psychologist or psychiatrist because they don't know how to handle themselves. And all of this comes from very simple but very difficult decision to make. I am responsible for my health. I am in charge of my daily routines. I can decide if I'm going to drink that caffeinated drink or sugary drink, if I'm going to take that extra scoop of ice cream, or if I'm going to go for a walk, if I'm going to go to bed on time instead of watching TV, and in the morning if I wake up, rather than grabbing a cup of coffee with the sugar and milk and whatever else you add there, which is stop becoming coffee, the coffee is only coffee. It has to have nothing in it. And start doing exercise, start drinking water, start walking on the street outside and having a breath of fresh air. Even though now we're learning that breath of fresh air is not always healthy, especially in the areas that are closer to the ocean or forests. And if you know why is that, comment below why is that. I will share with you. It's not funny though. But let's go back to my topic. We have two terms that describes human life. One is lifespan, one is health span. The lifespan is how long we live. The health span is how long we live healthy, meaning we can fully enjoy our life. And once the health span ends, we are dependent for our survival on medical apparatus or medications. And in US, I checked the statistics just yesterday, the average lifespan is 79 years, so we live long. People live long, but the health span is 66. So it's 13 years of life in average. People live dependent on medicine. And without that, they cannot live and they will not live. And on top of that, the quality of life that they have for those 13 years usually is nothing what they want. And that's why when I speak with people and saying, hey, do you want to live to 100? Like say, no way, why? It's going to be difficult. I'm going to be sick. I'm going to be dependent on this. And I always stop them and I say, wait a second, but what if you could live to your 100 and then your 100 you feel like you're in your 30s and hopefully your 30s you were healthy? How that changes the equation. People say, oh yeah, if that was the case, but it's impossible. And here's the truth. It is possible. We see a lot of people who live in their 70s, 80s, and 90s, and then to 100, actually being active and physically and mentally with it, and they are able to do it because they made right choices during their life. And some of them made it later in life, but they caught it on time before they passed the point of no return. So what I'm talking about today is a very simple thing. Your health of your children is in your hands. And if you don't have children yet, then you have to wake up today and start doing something for your health to make sure that by the time you have children, your body is prepared to have them, and your body is prepared to give birth to a healthy child with no defects, with no problems from the birth, and that will give that child an extra edge when they will be growing up. Now, if you don't care, if you just care about yourself and the day that you live today and tomorrow and doesn't matter, then stop watching this video and enjoy cigarettes and all those wipes and drugs and alcohol, because it's your life. And if you think that's the enjoyment, then that's your choice. If you think that enjoyment is moving, activity, contribution, helping others, then again, wake up. And you're probably already woken up if you're doing that, and start sharing with other people. What do you do to become healthier? What do you do to maintain your lifestyle, healthy lifestyle? And like me, join me in creating a community of like-minded, health-conscious people who want to see around us more healthy, beautiful, active, and energetic people. Not people who are suffering from disease, not people who are complaining about it all the time. And when you give them your hand and say, hey, take it, I'll show you the path out, saying, oh, no way, it doesn't work. It's all Ponzi schemes, it's all pyramids, it's all placebo. And hey, if that's placebo that made me from 211 pounds to 180, if that's placebo that saved me from having a surgery on my shoulder, if that's placebo that stopped my stomach problems that I had for 20 years and I don't have them for the last 8, I don't care how it's called. It works. And if you have something else, share it with me, share it in my comments, and I will be happy to see it and read it and share your story, because I'm here to share my story and story of people I know and help others who want to live longer, who want to have better quality of life, and who want to pass it on to their children, to have some information to do it, to pass, to promote, to help others to be successful and healthy and happy. Thank you.